This has been proofing for an hour and a half now, and I cut up a small yellow apple with brown sugar, cinnamon, and regular sugar. So I'm just gonna dust that in here. And I'm gonna tag the creator who I found this recipe from, because I've tried it a couple times and everybody went nuts for it. So you see, I'm just gonna stretch and fold and incorporate that into my dough. Add a little bit more here. Oops. And just really get that in. Okay. Put that up and I'll come back in 30 minutes. The apple fritter focaccia, I'm doing the inclusions as we do our stretch and fold. So I have a mixture of that cut up apple, brown sugar, cinnamon, and regular sugar. And stretch and fold that in. Might just have to do some, feels like a soppy mess here. Okay. So this is what we're looking like. You can see that just residual liquid from the apples and sugar and brown sugar, but I'm going to just do some folds here. I don't want my dough to really fall apart. I'm definitely not going to add anything else right now. I think I'm going to call the inclusions for this particular focaccia done at this point in time. So that's what we're left with. A very liquidy mess. Not sure where I left you, but I am going to shape my Italian loaf separate from this video. This one I'm just going to work on the apple fritter focaccia, and I will tag the original creator that I got this idea from as well, because she did this extra step. Normally I would just let my dough proof in the fridge, but what she'll do is take these big, take chunks, I'll show you real quick, and just kind of flop the dough in this apple, brown sugar, cinnamon, and regular sugar mixture. So definitely not like a healthy recipe that we're doing here. I'm not gonna use my bench cutter or anything, or scraper to cut. I'm just going to grab little bits of dough and just saturate them in this mixture and then pop them in my pan. This is like adult slime. Know that adding the inclusions in this process actually makes much sense, to be quite honest. Just since I'm doing this anyhow, I don't know that I needed to really add the apples or anything during the process. It doesn't bother me, I mean, whatever, but I find it a little bit probably unnecessary now that I'm thinking about it. We'll just do 2 more here. I just want to get all that goodness out of the bowl. This smells divine. I do not keep these kind of loaves at home. My kids love them, obviously, but I do not need this kind of stuff to tempt me. One time I did make a batch and I had so much dough I wasn't selling my sourdough yet, so I was just obsessively baking for no reason and giving it away, but I did end up using a focaccia that we had. I don't know that it was an apple cinnamon one. I think it might have been a brown sugar and cinnamon. Either way, I ended up using it for French toast and the kids went nuts. All right, so why do I keep saying so? I have my chunks. I'm going to let them kind of relax and form back into one form in the fridge overnight.